Artificial intelligence is all around us. It helps us find movies, navigate our cities, and even diagnose diseases. It's an incredibly powerful tool, changing our world in amazing ways. But there's a catch with many of the AI systems we use today. They are often what we call black boxes. This means that even the experts who build them don't fully understand how they make their decisions. The AI takes in information, performs some complex calculations in the dark, and then gives us an answer. We see the result, but the process, the why behind the decision, remains a complete mystery. Consider that. This lack of transparency can be more than just a little spooky. It can be downright dangerous. Imagine an AI system used by a bank to approve or deny loans. If the system is a black box, it might deny someone a loan for reasons that are unfair or even discriminatory. It could be using hidden patterns in the data, like a person's zip code, to make biased judgments. Without the ability to look inside the box and see the decision-making steps, we have no way to check for fairness. We are simply forced to trust a machine's conclusion without any proof or explanation, which isn't very scientific at all. The hidden costs of these black box models are starting to pile up. Companies can face huge legal troubles if their AI systems are found to be biased. Think about a hiring tool that secretly favors one group of people over another. That's not just unfair, it can lead to lawsuits and damage a company's reputation for years to come. Beyond the legal risks, there is a growing public demand for accountability. People are becoming more aware of how AI impacts their lives, from their social media feeds to their credit scores. They rightfully expect, and new laws are beginning to require, that these powerful systems are explainable and fair to everyone. This brings us to a critical crossroads. As we rely more and more on artificial intelligence, we must ask ourselves a fundamental question. Are we building tools that serve humanity, or are we creating systems that operate beyond our understanding and control? The black box approach, with its hidden logic and potential for unseen bias, pushes us toward the second option. It asks for blind faith in algorithms we can't inspect, but science and progress is all about understanding. It's about shining a light into the darkness, not being content to leave it as a mystery. It's time for a change. It's time for a new era of AI. So, how do we build AI that we can actually understand and trust? The answer lies in a different approach, one that has been around for a while but is now more important than ever. Symbolic AI. Unlike black box models that learn from huge amounts of data to find statistical patterns, symbolic AI works with rules and logic. Think of it like a recipe. Each step is clearly written down. You can follow the recipe from start to finish and see exactly how the ingredients combine to make the final dish. Symbolic AI operates in a similar way, using human-readable rules to make its decisions, which means we can always trace its thinking. This is where GlobalCmd RAD X comes in. It's a platform built on the principles of symbolic AI to make decision-making clear, safe, and transparent. While a traditional neural network might look at thousands of house photos to learn what a house is without ever understanding the concept, RAD X works differently. You would provide it with clear rules, like a house has walls, a house has a roof, and a house has a door. When it sees a new object, it checks if it meets these conditions. If someone asks why it identified something as a house, RAD X can point directly to the rules it used. It's explainable by design. The difference is like night and day. Black box AI gives you an answer and asks you to trust it. GlobalCmd RAD X gives you an answer and shows you its work, just like your math teacher asked you to do in school. This is a game changer. It puts humans back in control. If a decision seems wrong or biased, we can open up the recipe, examine the rules, and fix them. We are no longer at the mercy of a mysterious algorithm. Instead, we have a collaborative partner that we can guide, correct, and improve over time. This creates a cycle of trust and continuous refinement. This approach is not just about feeling safer. It's about building better, more reliable systems. Recent studies have shown just how powerful this transparency can be. Systems built with GlobalCmd RAD X have demonstrated a significant reduction in costly errors because the logic can be validated before it's even deployed. Organizations report lower operational costs because they spend less time trying to figure out why the AI did what it did. Most importantly, it builds trust. Trust from developers who build the systems, trust from regulators who oversee them, and trust from the public who uses them every single day. That's a powerful thing. The benefits of explainable AI aren't just theoretical. Organizations are already using GlobalCmd RAD X to transform their operations, making them more efficient, secure, and fair. Take the example of a regional healthcare provider. They were using a black box AI to predict patient readmission risks, but the doctors were hesitant to trust its recommendations because they couldn't understand them. The AI would flag a patient as high risk, but it couldn't explain why. Was it because of their age, a specific lab result, or something else entirely? The lack of clarity made the tool almost useless in a clinical setting where every decision counts. After switching to GlobalCmd RAD X, everything changed. The healthcare provider worked with its doctors to build a transparent workflow based on clear clinical guidelines and rules. 1. History of heart failure. 2. Recent A1C level above 8%. And 3. Age over 75. This allows doctors to quickly validate the AI's reasoning and make a more informed decision. The result was a dramatic increase in the tool's adoption, a measurable improvement in patient outcomes, and greater trust between the clinical staff and their technology. Another powerful story comes from a financial services company that specializes in fraud detection. Their old black box system was effective at catching fraud, but it also produced a high number of false positives, flagging legitimate transactions as suspicious. This frustrated customers and created a huge workload for their support team, who had to manually investigate each case. Worse yet, when regulators asked why a particular transaction was flagged, the company couldn't provide a concrete answer, putting them at risk of non-compliance. They were flying blind, and it was becoming unsustainable. By implementing GlobalCmd RAD X, the company was able to define explicit rules for what constitutes suspicious activity. They could fine-tune these rules based on new fraud patterns, ensuring the system was both effective and precise. False positives dropped by over 40%, freeing up their team to focus on real threats and improving the customer experience. When regulators came knocking, the company could now generate an instant, detailed report for any flagged transaction, showing the exact rules that were triggered. They not only protected their customers' data more effectively, but also fortified their own business against regulatory risk. So how can you get started on this journey toward a more transparent and trustworthy AI? The first step is to commit to a new way of thinking. It begins with acknowledging the limitations and risks of black box systems and choosing to prioritize clarity and accountability in your work. You can begin by mapping out your current automated workflows. Identify the key decision points where AI is used and ask a simple question. Can we explain why the system made this choice? If the answer is no, you have found the perfect place to start building a more transparent process. The next step is to engage everyone involved, from the data scientists who build the models to the people who use them every day. Building a transparent workflow with a tool like GlobalCmd RAD X is a collaborative effort. By involving domain experts, the doctors, bankers, or customer service agents, you can capture their knowledge and translate it into clear, logical rules. This process not only leads to a more accurate and effective AI system, but also ensures that the final product is trusted and embraced by the people it is designed to help. It's about building with people, not just for them. Once you have your rules defined, you can use a platform like GlobalCmd RAD X to build, test, and deploy your explainable AI model. The beauty of this approach is that the system is never truly finished. It is a living model that can be continuously monitored and improved. As new information becomes available or as business needs change, you can easily update the rules to keep the AI aligned with your organization's goals and values. This creates a robust, adaptable, and future-proof system that you can rely on. It's a workflow built for the long haul. The movement for ethical, explainable, and human-centered AI is growing every day, and it's a movement that needs all of us. Whether you are a developer, a business leader, a student, or just a curious citizen, you have a role to play. We can demand more from our technology. We can choose systems that empower us with understanding rather than leaving us in the dark. The future of AI is not yet written. Let's work together to build one that is fair, transparent, and works for everyone. Let's choose to unlock the black box and step into the light. Consider it.